All right. So we're going to be looking at, just because we're leading up to it, we're going to be reviewing the Mortal Kombat XL character select screen, right? So obviously I've got the XL version, you know, so all the extra characters are in there, so I can't review the base one. But it's not that much different anyway. So, but it's interesting though, because there's a couple of things I do want to cover in this. First and foremost, if you go into a towers mode, right, you can't actually see the character you're choosing, right? So you choose a character, okay, and then this is it. Like, you don't actually have a character show up, which I thought was pretty bad, actually. I thought that was awful. Like, you can still choose your, you know, your outfit and then your variation, but you can't actually see the character. I don't know who thought that was a good idea. So the best way is to go into single fight. And this is where, like, this is one of the things I do love about this. The fact that the UI has gone back to a darker, a very dark tone. Like, the whole game overall is a very dark tone. And it does come through with the character select screen. Now, naturally, depending on the faction that you chose, and we can check that out in a minute, we actually do get a different background for it, right? So we'll just showcase all the different characters. Once you select a character, they got a nice little animation of them actually, like, you know, walking up further towards the camera, which is pretty cool, right? So, and it's very simplistic design. We're getting a very similar design in Mortal Kombat 1, except in Mortal Kombat 1, it's sectioned off into 3 lots of 8. Whereas in this one, if you look at the character select screen, if you take off the like 4 characters from each end, right? So you take off Alien, what is his? I always get it. I know Jason. That's right, because I don't care about the horror characters, right? And then is that Chainsaw Dude, Leatherface? Yep. And then you got Predator, right? And then on the other end, Tanya, Boratro, Tremor, and Triborg. If you take them all out, that was our original character select screen slot, like slots, you know, available. But I do like the selection cursor as well. It's actually got a little bit of detail on it, which is nice. All the faceplates are okay. Like, they're okay. But they don't pop as much as others, other ones actually do. So, yeah, it's interesting. It's not my favorite character select screen, you know, out there. But I do like the fact that when you choose a character, they then walk forward. It does come with a slight pause as well. By the way, just the other thing, you know, just sort of talking about a little bit MK1. Goro was the pre-order bonus, just like Shang Tsung is. So I know we've had a lot of debate about, you know, Shang Tsung being within the 24 roster. I believe he will be. He'll be part of that 24 character slot roster, just like Goro was. If you didn't own Goro, you wouldn't be able to select him, but his character portrait would still be there, right? So, but yeah, like, it's actually, it's well laid out. It's all down the bottom, out of the way. It allows them to actually have the characters show up. But it's all essentially one block. It's all one block of characters. So it's sort of, it does the job, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it does the job, but it's not my favorite. But it is a great roster of characters though. Like, I thought it was a better selection of characters than MK11's one, right? But like I said, we'll go back out and I'll choose another faction and then come back in and showcase, because I don't think I've ever done it, but I'm pretty sure, because I've pretty much always stuck to this faction. So it'll be very interesting to see if the background changes, and of course if it does, then that also changes to how the character select screen looks for you as well. So, but yeah, and of course there is a hidden With Triborg, when you do select him, there are actually like 4 variations of him, which is pretty cool. To actually choose a costume, you just simply press X. At least on Xbox controller, it'd be square on PlayStation. And then when you go through each outfit, it actually showcases the change as well, which is nice, right? In MK9's, you had to press start to access the extra costumes. There was nothing on screen to tell you to do that. So this is a better step up. And of course, the unfortunate thing too with the MK9s is that you couldn't see the costume that you were selecting. It would name them, some of them, but some would just be costume 2, costume 3, you know. So I do like the fact that they have started to name the costumes in this, which is really good, right? Press Y, you can access random select, a hidden cursor, and access any presets, and of course your combat card as well. And then of course the 2-player on this side as well can also access that as well. Now let's go out and we'll change our faction. So what are we on? We're on the White Lotus, right? So let's go Brotherhood of Shadow. And then we'll jump straight back in to single fight. And there we go. So yeah. So depending on your faction, it does change the background. That's really sweet. Let's do that for all of them, so that way you guys get a full picture of how that looks. Go Special Forces. Whoop, not that one. So that's very cool too. I kind of like how the camera kind of zooms in a little bit, even over objects in the foreground. That looks nice. And of course, depending naturally on which faction you choose, the background itself actually changes. Oh, hang on. Whoop, sorry, my bad. Going back out. The background, depending on the lighting, will change how your character looks as well. So we've done 1, 2, 3. We'll go Black Dragon, which is cool. All right. So, all right, there we go. We've got the new one. And now we have that. So it's a little bit more, there's not a whole bunch going on in the background. We saw some like shadows running in the background. But there's not, there's not a whole bunch, right, happening in this particular background. And then of course we'll go to the last one as well, right? Just had the alt tab out because my wallpaper engine crashed. There we go. Excellent. Is it going to let me do it? So there we go. Nice. And then the Ling Kuei. All that snow. Not a big fan of snow, but whatever. And then, yeah. So now you've seen with all the backgrounds and how it looks. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think my favorite is the White Lotus. Definitely. Is the White Lotus, yeah. Yep. Do love the White Lotus. Always love that particular stage as well. It's fantastic, right? But I do like that. The camera zooms in, your character sort of pauses for a second, then walks forward. Very intimidating. And then when you choose a character, they turn to the side. It gives you access to the different variations. Now you can notice here, especially like someone like Katana, when you change variation, it'll actually change partially like how their outfit looks. So her mask might be gone for Royal Storm. She'll gain it back for Mournful. She'll also get one back for Assassin. And that happens with every character, right? You get like this slight change, right? So you can see there, Cryomancer, his arms are all frozen. Okay. So that's pretty cool, right? So let's just, let's quickly do that. If that's all right. I know it's getting on a little bit. So you can see the slight changes for each of the characters depending on their variation, right? So his hat will change, which is cool. Awesome, right? And this is part of the character select as well, right? So I will definitely cover costumes in other videos for each character as well as I get through them all, right? But it is, and you can see they're against the swords on the back, which is pretty awesome. Done Subby, do Melina, got one with her mouth uncovered and whatnot, which is cool. So yeah, I'll do other videos where I'll actually showcase actual character outfits for each one. Because, like I said, there's a lot of content that you can make for fighting games. Anyone out there that's watching this video and you go, oh, I don't know what to talk about or whatever, there's tons of stuff that you can talk about. And don't worry if I've done it or other people have done it beforehand. People want to hear from you. They want to hear from your opinion in regards to that. So I do love Triborg. And yeah, in Triborg there's a hidden character with Cyber Sub-Zero. So, which is pretty groovy. Can't get over how big Goro is in this. And then like you go to like how he looked in MK1. And he looks so toned down. So, but you know, it is what it is. Can't stand Deborah. Never liked her as a character. I think they need to give her like a sexy outfit or something. So, and of course this was the first Mortal Kombat game where we actually got variations in the form that basically made us have to choose what particular special moves we could have. You know, which kind of, I didn't really like it. I know what they were going for, and then in MK11 they made it worse with like actually choosing abilities, and then some wouldn't work with others. But no, I definitely prefer a character that's stacked. You know, I do prefer that. You know, just having a character with all their special moves available, and then moving on from there. So, but yeah, so anyway, that's my review. Like I said, I do prefer the White Lotus background for the character select screen from Mortal Kombat X or Mortal Kombat XL. I guess you could call it, right? But yeah, it's not my favorite, but it's definitely functional. It definitely is functional for, you know, for what it is. So let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. See ya.